Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, here as your host for the Night Sky this week. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great weekend and a good start for this week with some clear skies, hopefully, and you'll be able to see some amazing stuff in the sky. First off, I just wanted to let folks know, put down on your calendar, because as we're heading into April, in April 1st, it marks the kickoff of Global Astronomy Month. Those of you that know me well know that I work with Astronomers Without Borders, a wonderful nonprofit, an international nonprofit that's basically dedicated to using astronomy for good around the world, building community using our passion, our shared heritage of the night sky. And every year for the last 12 years, this is actually the 13th year, we are celebrating Global Astronomy Month, which is really the world's largest astronomy festival around. And right throughout the month of April, there are amazing online events that you can join and participate in, from observing events, observing challenges of the night sky, amazing lineup of speakers of all sorts from around the world, and really just a great glimpse into the hobby of astronomy, the profession of astronomy, and the power that astronomy has of doing good around the world. So I highly encourage you guys, watch for that. I will put a link in the comment section where you can go off to astronomerswithoutborders.org. That's astronomerswithoutborders.org, and check out this beautiful lineup of amazing events. I'll have a link for that so you don't miss out. And I'll be talking about it every week throughout April, so you don't miss from week to week some amazing events. I'm really excited to be participating in this, and I hope you get to join me in having some fun throughout the month of April. So, with that said, why don't we dive into the night sky this week? And I'll just bring up my trusty planetarium program. I've got it set up for early evening this week. The moon is out of the way for most of the early part of the week, so out of the evening sky, I should say. And that really is a fantastic setup for, again, looking for deep sky objects. And those of you who have been coming around to my shows every week know that it's really something that's a lot of fun to do, to be able to go in and talk about the night sky, particularly objects like galaxies and star clusters that are way beyond the solar system. And the best time to see it is when the moon is out of the way. So with that said, here we go. We've got the night sky set up, and you can see towards the northwest, you've got some of the fall-winter constellations really just kind of setting right now in the early evening. This is set around about 8 o'clock, 45 degrees latitude. That's where I'm located in Montreal, Canada. And it gives you a kind of a good sense of where everything is. And here in the southwest, you can see, again, some of the really most brightest winter constellations that are setting in the southwestern sky. So if I magically kind of move forward in time, you get to see, like my friend here, the Orion constellation. There's the belt of Orion. I've got it marked with my cursor there. You can see the 3 stars, and then the super bright star just off to the left. You can use this as a guidepost, the belt of Orion, and just draw an imaginary line towards the side of here, and until you meet the next brightest star. That, in fact, is Sirius. At 8.6 light years away, Sirius is the brightest star in the entire night sky. So no matter where you're watching from, whether you're in Oregon or Alberta or South Africa or Turkey or Jamaica, I can see all of you guys on the comment section. Doesn't matter. Sirius is the brightest star in the entire sky, and that's because it's fairly close, quite close to our solar system at 8.6 light years away. It's one of the closest stars, and it's a fairly bright, brilliant white star. It shines like a diamond, and it's just so beautiful. Check it out. It's still really greatly visible in the early evening sky towards the southwest. If we kind of move towards the later part in the evening, you can see I can actually see them setting. You see how they just move off to the side there? They're setting towards the western part of the horizon. This is as the evening goes on. So I'm already at 11 o'clock at night now. Now I'm at 12 o'clock at night. And so you can see as the Earth spins on its axis, these stars are kind of bowing out as we head towards the middle of the season. We just started spring in the north, and you guys in the southern hemisphere are starting the fall, the autumn. It's that change of season. You can see them bowing out these traditional, very super bright stars. Now, if we move off to the southeast east, this is where I get really excited as an avid amateur astronomer, one who likes to take the telescope out. It's really neat because this part of the sky is for galaxy hunting. And I've talked about this in previous episodes. This is a window of the universe. If you look towards this part of the sky, here you can see this fuzzy band here off to the south here in the evening. That's the Milky Way galaxy. That's our home galaxy. And that fuzzy light, that kind of milky, hence its name Milky Way, that milky arch of light that spreads out over the sky, that is the combined light of basically billions of stars that are in this island that's a spiral pattern we call the Milky Way galaxy, our home galaxy. There's over 400 to 600 billion stars that are called the Milky Way home. And that's what you're seeing, that light, that band of light in the sky right now in the south. Now, if we move off from that band of light, either way, but towards the left, I would say, towards the eastern part of the sky, we're really in a barren part of the sky. You'll notice that there's a lack of bright stars in the eastern part of the sky this time of the year. And there's a good reason for that. That's because we're looking away from the plane of the galaxy. We're looking above the plane of the galaxy, and it's kind of a window out to the grand universe. This is very exciting because this is where you can look for other islands of stars we call galaxies. And there's chock full of them. This area in the east, this time of the year, fantastic for galaxy hunting. So if you have binoculars, and particularly those of you with small telescopes or large telescopes, this is prime time to go and hunt for galaxies. So one of my favorite areas is Leo. The other week, we looked at Leo, and we had, of course, the moon guiding us too. So if you look back at the previous episodes, the moon sometimes goes through during its monthly cycle. You can catch it in Leo, the Lion constellation, and it'll be back in the next week or so in there as well. So we'll mark that next week's episode. But look at that. You've got like Regulus here, and Regulus is the heart of the Lion, very bright, easy to see. The other bright one in this part of the sky, there's two other ones. It forms kind of a large triangle with Arcturus in the constellation Bootes and a very beautiful blue-white gem called Spica. Spica is about 250 light years away. Arcturus is about 37 light years away. And then Regulus up here is about 77 light years away. And it makes this giant triangle in the evening sky. anytime this week. I highly recommend it. It's really nice. And this triangular formation is kind of home to all those galaxies that I'm talking about. It's a window out of the Milky Way. So, as some of you are mentioning in the comments section, yes, it's time travel. What we're doing here is traveling back in time. Every time you look into the sky, you are traveling back in time. But the ultimate in time travel, millions of years back in time, is looking for other galaxies. And so, getting back to Leo, if you go up to that top star in that triangle that I mentioned here, the three stars, go back up to the Regulus here in Leo, and look to the left of that star, and you'll have Denebola marking the tail. And that just line between them, draw a line right in the center, is this trio of galaxy, as I talked about the other episode, M95, M96, M105, a great clustering of three spiral galaxies, all about 30 light years away, a little more than 30 million light years away. I know it's hard to wrap your mind around it, but just think about it. It takes over 30 million years for the light to reach your eye from these galaxies. Now, there is another little group just at the foot, the back feet of Leo the lion. Also highly recommend you take a look. So if you, now just follow me here, folks. So what you've got here is you've got Regulus that marks this giant, the bottom of this giant backwards question mark. Now I've talked a lot about this. This is a great landmark, cosmic landmark for you to look for. So find that first. You can see this with the naked eye, this giant backwards question mark. The top of the question mark is basically the head and mane, the neck area of Leo the lion. And then the heart of the lion, or the punctuation mark of this backward question mark, is Regulus. But then if we look towards the back end of the lion, you'll see three other bright stars. Not as bright as Regulus or the one here in the neck of Leo, but fairly bright. Even from suburban light-polluted cityscapes, you can see these three stars that mark the back end, a triangular marcation of the tail and Leo, the lion. And this triangle is a great guidepost for finding another group of galaxies that are just underneath, also part of the Messier catalog. Again, if you're following me over week to week, Charles Messier, 17th century French astronomer, created basically the bucket list for amateur astronomers, backyard astronomers. It's the list of the brightest, easiest to find deep sky objects. There are star clusters in that Messier list, but there's also a great group of galaxies. And two of them right here, you can see, if you take the two stars here that mark the back end of the lion and you kind of draw an imaginary line outwards, you'll reach this other stars, of course, marking the back feet of the lion. But before that, you'll see just underneath, if you just draw this line, a curvatured line, you'll reach M65 and M66. Now, these two are also great galaxies. I'm going to zoom in on them, and you'll see, if you're looking at it through binoculars, you'll actually see something like this. This is what you'll greet. This is the kind of view through an average pair. You'll see two tiny, very faint little smudges. And just to bring this point to home here in terms of information here, brightness, this galaxy M65 is 9 magnitude. So this is within the range of binoculars. M66 here is a little bit brighter at 8.9 magnitude. So well within average 77 by 50 pair of binoculars, or whatever type of binoculars. This, you should be able to see them as very faint fuzzy glows this week with dark skies. If you can get away into the countryside, you'll see them better. Now, if I zoom in through a telescope view, check this out. You'll start seeing details. You can even see both of them just about in the same field of view. And look at that. There's even another galaxy here. This one is edge on. It's a spiral galaxy with a dust lane. But these two ones are very easy to find through telescopes. They are beautiful. So this is M65. M65 is 42 million light years away. This is a great picture taken through a backyard telescope. Look at that. And M65, you can see, is kind of a spiral galaxy that's on on an angle. You could see dark dust lanes in this image, and you can see the bright central core of the spiral galaxy. Now, it's amazing to think, by the way, that humming at the center of most galaxies, we think, including the Milky Way, is a supermassive black hole, and it's sort of like the dynamo, that kind of powers a galaxy. It not only chomps up stars and gas that fall into these giant black holes at the centers of galaxies, but they also spew out a lot of material. It kind of recycles materials. And so some theories hold that these supermassive black holes are really powering galaxies throughout the cosmos. So this is really interesting. Of course, we can't see those black holes, but you can see this galaxy. And the core of the galaxy is really what shines through to binoculars so well. So that's M65. And then right nearby is its neighbor, M66. And check this out. It's just gorgeous. 37 million light years away. And here we go. Look, this is what it looks like through a telescope, imaged, of course. So won't see as much of the details, but look at this. It looks like a barred spiral. There's a bar configuration, and then the spiral arms sweep away there. Imagine all those stars. We're seeing the combined light of literally tens of millions of stars that form these spiral galaxies that are there. The spiral formation, I should say, the arms are formed from these tens of millions of stars, and we see that combined light. It's really incredible. So I highly recommend this as being a fantastic showpiece to see. Again, where we're looking, back feet of the lion, using the triangle of stars, naked eye stars, marking this spot where you want to be doing your hunt for these galaxies. Again, binoculars, fantastic to be able to do that. This is all happening in the east in the early evening or late evening. And this week, fantastic opportunity because the moon is not in this part of the sky, so it's dark and it's perfect for viewing those. Now, before I leave you for this week, I wanted to switch to the early morning skies. There's some action happening there. So if we just turn over to just before sunrise, look at this. So this was what greeted us this morning as I'm doing this show on Monday, March 28th. You had this at just before sunrise. Look at that. The crescent moon was near Venus and Saturn and Mars, and you got Jupiter off there. Just a beautiful clustering of neighboring worlds. And if you were lucky enough to have clear skies and maybe you were walking your dog this morning, this is what greeted you. So with that said, what will happen Tuesday, March 29th? So if we move up to the next day, the moon will have kind of moved off. It's a thinner crescent closer to where the sun is rising, just where behind my head here in this animation here. There's Jupiter just coming out of the glare of dawn, but there's the moon, and you can just about see that if you go maybe a half hour before your sunrise. This is what will greet you. Get a good view towards the southeast eastern horizon, no obstruction, no buildings or mountains or trees, and this is kind of what you'll see. And look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that view. You'll have a triangular pattern of Venus, Saturn, and Mars. Venus being the brightest, of course, of those three planets. Isn't that just like the most spectacular thing? But it gets even better. Now, the moon is going to get out of the way. Watch this. So I've got it now on March 29th. But look for, this is Tuesday. And then look Wednesday. Look what's happening with Saturn and Mars, right? So this is Wednesday. This is Thursday. This is Friday. This is Saturday. This is Sunday. This is Monday. So Monday, April 4th, look what's happening. Look how close these two planets, Saturn and Mars, will be. Just a fantastic conjunction. This is what we call a planetary conjunction. Two planets coming awfully close to each other, Monday, and that's Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday, Saturn and Mars will be at this ultimate closeness. And if through binoculars, this is how close they'll appear. And through a telescope, look at this, folks. Through a telescope, you'll see both planets. If you have a small telescope, maybe you got it for a holiday or for a birthday and you really haven't had a chance to really use it, April 3rd to the 5th, early morning at dawn, about a half hour before your local sunrise, look for these two planets. They'll fit into a singular view through a telescope. In one view, looking through the eyepiece of your telescope, you can see these two planets. Isn't that incredible? In one view. That doesn't happen every day. Of course, these two planets are very far apart. They are separated by hundreds of millions of kilometers, but they will be lined up from our perspective this close together. It's really incredible. Of course, if we did an orbital view just before I finish today's broadcast, I just want to give you a perspective. Why does it look like the way it does? If we zoom out from Mars, and we magically go above the solar system, above the plane of the solar system, you see these lines, the red line, that's the orbit of Mars, and there's Earth and the sun, and we see Saturn. And look, what I want you to see here is where Earth is. There's Earth, right? There we have Venus here. There's the sun. There's Mercury. There's Mars. There's Jupiter. Look, and where is Saturn? Right there. Do you see from our line of sight? This is again April 5th when they appear so close. Look where Venus is. Look where Earth is. Look where Mars is and Saturn. So from our little point, remember, we're on planet Earth. So from our point of view, Mars and Saturn look very close together, but look how far apart they are. Two very vastly different distances from the Earth, but yet they look close together in the sky. That's because they're just from our vantage point, we see this optical illusion of these two planets close to each other. I think that's just incredible. And, in the meantime, in the sky, this is the view through a telescope. Don't forget, you'll see the rings of Saturn. Just so impressive. You'll see Mars look that orange color because of all the iron oxide in the soils of Mars. And then we zoom out. You've got Venus, super bright. You'll know that you're looking at the right direction when you see super bright Venus. Jupiter still in that glare of the sunrise. All happening early morning. Set your alarm. Get up around an hour before your local sunrise and get out there outside 45 minutes to half hour before your local sunrise and look low to the east, southeast for this beautiful clustering. I know I'm hoping for clear skies. I hope I can get outside to see this because this is going to be magical. It's fantastic. And there's more to come in the month of April. Remember, it's Global Astronomy Month. I'll put a link to all kinds of really neat events. I'll be hopefully doing a Facebook Live outside regarding these beautiful conjunctions. Astronomers Without Borders is also going to have a special guest doing a live stream. Stay tuned to that. Very special. I'm really excited about it. I can't reveal more than that, but it's coming. And I'll be posting all of this on my social channels. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, thank you so much for spending a few moments of your day with me and touring the night sky. I always have fun doing that with you guys. So much fun. I love seeing all your comments and joining me wherever you are. It really means a lot to me. And of course, if you like this video and that I put out every Monday, a live stream like this, Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, remember, please show your support by subscribing to my channels and liking my videos and sharing it with your friends and family. Let's just get more people looking up at the sky. It's so much fun and it's easy to do, no matter where you are and where you're living. I hope you have a great week. And remember, as always, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.